I see a lot of y'all making videos. I don't know who this lady is going throughout the city. I can't really stand the way she talk. When you get older, there's a lot of shit you can no longer stand. A lot of y'all have high hopes for this damn city, and I'm here to tell you, your hopes are misfucking-placed. Yahuwah didn't give us no stake in none of this land over here. And Gary, Indiana is going to be dashed to pieces and destroyed just like the rest of Mystery Babylon. Modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, spiritual Egypt. So don't get your hopes up too high. See, a lot of y'all talking ignorantly, and I have an obligation and a duty to set you straight. I heard these two ladies talking in the bank about how a new church built a damn sanctuary. And sometimes I said to myself, I leave them with their cloak. A cloak is ignorance. That way they'll have an excuse in judgment. Because if I talk to them, they'll have no more cloak. Don't even know what a sanctuary is. And I see other people posting worship service at church. It's impossible for you to worship Yahuwah if, for one, you don't know his name. Because praises have to go up unto his real name. And to worship him, to show you how ignorant you are and how deceived you are, you don't even know the meaning of worship anymore. To worship means to keep his commandments. And I've said this hundreds of times. The first and greatest of his commandments is that you shall know, honor, keep, and teach his true name. And teach it to your children and your children's children. Without his name, there can be no praises and there can be no true worship. That is the beginning of it all, is the name of Yahuwah. Secondly, you throw around this word God like it means something, and you blaspheme. Blaspheme means to call on another name that impersonates his own, like Lord and Jesus and all that other bullshit, which was never his name. He said the true worshipers will have to worship him in spirit and in truth. And if there's no truth in that equation, your worship is bullshit and false. And he's not in the midst of that. This, just like it was in ancient Egypt, a lot of you no longer even realize that you're being oppressed no more because your hearts have turned gross. You become worldly, and I've noticed that you turned up the party. You're partying even more feverishly in the last hour. And that don't make no sense. Now is the time for us to gather ourselves together. That means to be holy. Holy means separate from the world, not doing what all the worldly people do. We're in the last hour. Last hours, I'll say. And just like it was in ancient Egypt, there was a lot of niggas who esteemed themselves as Egyptians. They had fun in Egypt. They loved Egypt. They worshiped the gods, the many gods of Egypt. And as it's recorded in the book of Yashar, which is the book of the righteous, Yahuwah killed them niggas both in Egypt during the days of darkness, and we buried them in the days of darkness so that the Egyptians couldn't see it and mock and laugh, basically mock at it. And then later he killed more of them in the wilderness. Don't repeat the same thing. It saddens me. A lot of you have high hopes for this place, and you love Mystery Babylon and a land that Yahuwah never gave us one stake in more than you, and you love your oppressors and their gods more than you love Yahuwah and your own blessed holy land, which is where the kingdom will be. It's sad. This place is going to be utterly destroyed just like the rest of America. Like I heard somebody say, Yahuwah would have to apologize if he didn't destroy America because he destroyed Sodom, the 5 cities of Sodom. And they did less than the United States of America, Mystery Babylon. But he don't apologize because it's going to be destroyed. It's already written. So I'm tired. I got up and sat in the kitchen to make this video. I was my emotions were a lot more indignant than they are now, but I'm really tired. And I'm obligated to tell you these things. We're in the last hours. The little horn, I know I'm off subject. It's getting ready to, I made a joke earlier. I said, we get the first black non-Negro, that means he's not one of us president. He turns out to be gay and a treasonous. And that's the truth. And I think it's going to fulfill that he's going to be the middle head of that beast in the prophecy of 2nd Ezra about the three-headed eagle. After he dies upon his bed in pain, it's going to be really quick that the Democratic Party is going to be consumed. It'll be no more Democratic Party. And after that, our redemption can come out of the wilderness, as is written in the prophecy, at any time. And there's going to be a great time of trouble. It's not great tribulation. Great tribulation began when we were chased out of Jerusalem in our Holy Land. It's been going on for 2,000 years. And great tribulation only pertains to us. What we're talking about is the great time of trouble, like there's never been since there was an earth. That's Daniel chapter 12. And that's going to come. And that's why it's written, he that endures to the end, the same shall be saved. There'll be a lot of death and carnage, and even the righteous are going to be tested. But all I see is a lot of you out here partying feverishly, trying to hold on to feelings and shit that is long gone. I've noticed Yahuwah start taking the magic out of a lot of things in his life over a decade ago. And I see y'all holding on to it. It's like you don't have peace at home. You don't find peace at home. You want to be out doing really nothing. You know, so here's another warning. Just another, it ain't even late night. It feels like it is. Another late night warning. Get your asses together. Stop worrying about this cursed land. It ain't ours. It was never ours. It's been a long road over here. We were oppressed. We built this nation. We were killed, lynched. We've been done wrong for over 400 years. You should be happy to that our redemption is near. Just like His Majesty said, when you see these things coming to pass, look up and be joyous because our redemption is near. But you gotta be keeping His commandments. You just can't be out here committing adultery, just laying with everybody and abusing your body with drugs and being unholy, which means you're out in the in crowd everywhere and partying feverishly. It's okay for us to have fun, but He said don't get carried away with those things. And He also even said in Luke 18:8, He said, I will avenge you speedily. That means there's going to be some killing when He come back with the heavenly hosts and armies. He said, but when I return, will I find faith in the earth? That question alone, I think there's going to be very few, very feeble remnant. So I hope my words aren't in vain. They're not my words. They're His words being repeated in layman's terms. I pray you get it. Jesus is actually Satan. Satan is such a deceiver. And most of you so stubborn because you fell in love with an imposter that you can't even receive Yahuwah's name. You've been marked by the beast already. That mark has been here for a long time. And that's why you can't receive the mark of Yahuwah, which is His name. That's why it says, and it shall come to pass, Joel 2:32, that whosoever calls upon the name of Yahuwah shall be delivered. You're going to be blaspheming, calling on that false name, and you're going to be getting killed, burned, murdered, and all that stuff. That's the only strength. And it's written in another place, for the name of Yahuwah is a strong tower. The righteous run to it, and it is safe. They are safe indeed. So I hope you get some of these things. The scriptures will never give us strength, give up its strength. You keep reading it with that bullshit ass LORD and that funky ass J word, and listening to that unrighteous quote unquote gospel music, because you can't praise Yahuwah just singing up praises in a false name. It don't work that way. I think I hate when I cut a video short and I say I forgot to add this. But yeah, I pray you get your asses together, because it looks like it's going to crash down and visit a lot of you motherfuckers out of nowhere. Just like it said in Luke 21:34. It said, just like it was in Noah's day, they're going to be eating, drinking, married, partying, worshiping their own gods, not Yahuwah, and giving and taking in marriage and building. Just like it was until the very day Noah entered into the ark and the floods carried them all away. So it sounds like all these words are just falling on deaf ears and hard hearts. But yet and still, here's another video. Good night.